I just want to introduce another one of my one of the older brothers, my brother Billy Warlock. Billy Warlock, could you tell us how you came to this club, how Grub found you, and the story about the park bench and hippies?
Park bench and hippies, that's one of Grub's stories. Me and Grub met in late 70, early 71, and we just all started hanging out together and politicking through the clubs. We had form a club, and this is where we came. The park bench and hippies, I don't know.
So it's a myth that you weren't a hippie on the park bench, and Grub said, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you said, what would you tell him you want to be when you grow up?
Oh, a fireman. Always wanted to be a fireman. Now what this is when we formed up the club, I was kind of hesitant about going. And I had my bike tore apart, and I was riding a bicycle to work every day while I was working on my bike. I just worked a couple streets down, you know. And I stopped in a bar one night and got drunk with Grub and another brother. And the actual story is Grub offered me a ride home, put my bicycle in the back of the trunk, took me to the clubhouse. I become a Warlock. When they got all in there and asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a fireman. And that's from that point on.
And did you ever become a fireman?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, there you have it. We have careers. Can you tell us, since I want to take a moment here to tell you that Billy Warlock personally worked his ass off to put this 40-year anniversary together with his club. He brought all the original members back. I'm going to have Billy Warlock tell you how he did this, who he got in touch with, and what a difficult time it was. And then I want to ask him at the very end how he feels about what he sees now and where this club's going to in the future. So tell us how the beginning.
About finding all the guys, I run a website for the Warlocks, and I created a history page, and I was trying to contact some of the old brothers to get information. And I got a lead on Skip Cheney, who was one of our original members. I called him up. He was real apprehensive about talking to me, but he talked to me. He gave me a lead on a couple other brothers. Using the internet and my internet phone, I searched for them. It took me a year. I found 7. Actually, I found 10 of the 13, but 3 of them are dead. So I found 7 of the original 13 brothers. 3 of them I couldn't find because all I had was their nicknames. But over the year, I've interchanged phone numbers between them. All these brothers didn't know we existed. They hadn't talked to each other in 40 years. So they all kind of reunited, and I invited them down here for this party, and this is what happened.
From when you first became a Warlock, did you ever imagine this club would go to where it is today?
No, absolutely not. We didn't even think that far ahead. We were just trying to survive. There was a lot of turf war violence back in those days, and all we were trying to do is survive.
Through the years to where we've got today, when you look around, what do you see this organization as right now?
A brotherhood. Strong brotherhood, just like the way we started it.
When I interviewed Grub, he said the same thing, that this club is brotherhood. Is that just a saying, or do you really feel that?
Well, these are my brothers. That's the way we start out. Back in the old days, we were all we had. We were brothers. We had to watch each other's backs. We had to protect each other. There's just a lot more of us now.
How do we feel about each other's families in this organization?
Our families are our families. You're my brother. Your family's my family.
Where do you see this organization going to in the future?
The world.
When you look at the new brothers that got patched today, the 2 brothers, do you remember the brothers' names?
Noodles and Owen.
When you saw them get their patches today, how'd that make you feel?
Made me feel good, brother. Made me feel good.
Do you think that the world has a misconception about what we are and what we're about, and even we're wearing 1% of patches? Do you think that they don't really know what this lifestyle is, and that they get their information from the movies or hearsay from old books? Or do you think that if they look to us in the future, do you think that they'll change their attitude and their opinions of us?
Well, there's a lot of people that know what's going on. I mean, back in the old days, it was really a stigma, but more and more people know what's happening with motorcycle clubs. There's good, there's bad. You know, the media tries to lay shit on you. The they like to lay shit on you. But a lot of people see through it, and some don't.
How many years have you been a member of this organization?
This year, 36.
36 years of your life you've given to this organization. That must mean a lot to you. Do you have children and grandchildren?
I have 2 daughters, and my wife has 3 kids. 2 daughters and a son.
How does your extended family feel about you being with this organization?
Well, because of our age, they think it's cool. You know.
Cool's a good word.
Mom and Dad rides a Harley.
If you had a male child and he wanted to come to this organization, would you think it was a good idea, a bad idea? Would you allow it, or would you disallow it?
Well, I'd allow it if that's what he wanted to do. If he didn't want to do it, I wouldn't push him into it.
Has this organization ever pushed anybody to come to be a part of this whole group of brothers, or is this something that we only accept if that's what they really want?
Well, absolutely. They got to want it, or we don't want them. You know, we don't want numbers. We want brothers.
Do you remember what year you came to this club?
71.
1971. What was going on in the world in 1971?
Ooh. Well, I only know what happened in our world, which was the state of Florida. And there was a lot of violence and turf war.
That's pretty much all dissipated now, isn't it? Isn't it pretty much that most clubs all get along now? We're just trying to survive, and we're trying to live our lifestyle without infringing on anybody else's rights?
Yeah, it's come a long way since the 70s. Everybody seems to get along. That's good. It's respect, both sides.
Is there anything that you'd like to say in your closing words here to the world that's going to see this video? Is there anything you'd like to tell them personally from your own heart?
Warlocks forever. That's what I believe.
My brother Billy Warlock, who personally helped put this 40-year anniversary together and bring this entire group of great brothers, great sisters, great families and children to this one area with no problems, not a citizen being harassed, upset, mistreated. I just want to say that I thank you, my brother, for being here, and thank you for allowing me to be a Warlock, because if it wasn't for you guys, I would have never had this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for being a Warlock.
Thank you.